everybody, Flick here for a Let's Look at Payday 2, specifically the beta, although the game is actually going to be out in a couple of weeks. This is post-commentary of a co-op game I played with Blighty, Travelling Salesman and Cynical Razor joins partway through. The reason I'm doing post-commentary is that it's a cooperative focused game and it requires a lot of talking about what you're doing in the moment, so there's really not a lot of time to sit and discuss a game in a semi-review first impressions type thing while you're actually trying to play it. So that's the reason why I'm doing it this way. Plus you don't get to hear all them jabbering away. So for those who don't know, the first Payday game called Payday the Heist, it was a pretty successful game. It had a stereotypical bank heist to start with, and then you went on to do bigger and bigger heists, diamond heist, you know, drug heist, that kind of thing. Things have been a bit reworked in Payday 2, where rather than having set heists that you can just retry in different difficulties, there's a random selection that just spawn and appear. Some of them last certain days, some of them last others. The one that we're doing here is the easiest difficulty of a jewellery heist, so we're going to start here in a second. And when you start a heist, as you'll see on the screen now, you start in casing mode. Essentially what that means is it gives you a chance to look around the stage before it starts. It gives you a chance to see where security guards are, where civilians are, where cameras are, where any extra assets you've purchased to help you make the stage easier prior to it starting might appear. Like for example, you could buy a spare ammo bag that might be hidden in a fax machine, for instance. So I'm putting on my mask here, which means I can now do high alert actions like shoot, hit, etc. because I want to knock out this guard. We're trying to do this stealthily. Unfortunately I mess up slightly because I suddenly realise, oh no, there's another guard there, but I get him. But the problem is you're supposed to answer their pager so that the security don't think anything's wrong. I hit the button, I accidentally let it go because I didn't think I had the pop-up present, so instantly, just instantly, everyone's tripped. So now we're kind of panicking here. I think Blighty and Salesman have ran into the front of the store to try and control the civilians. Meanwhile, I'm putting a saw in the safe there, as you saw, getting the manager in the back here, and then we're just basically nabbing everything in sight. We are being utter kleptomaniacs. So, in a bit of a different way compared to the first one, this one feels a lot more fleshed out. It feels just better. The first one had a kind of, this is just a mod feeling to me and Blighty, and we both kind of shared the opinion that although it was okay to play in small doses, we didn't really like it. However, we've been playing this beta for Payday 2 every night for the past week for hours on end, and really in the beta there's only 4 or 5 heist types available, and we've still been enjoying it a hell of a lot more than the first game. So it just goes to show that a lot more production value has gone into this. And for those who don't know, it isn't just on Steam this time, it is actually a full release on consoles and whatnot. So I've been nabbing all the small pickup jewelleries. They just add to your total earnings for the heist. The biggest deal in this is picking up like you'll see there, that case full of rings. That actually becomes a bagged set of loot. Couldn't think of the word there. The reason I couldn't is because I was reminded that in a somewhat mean-spirited way, people describe Payday as like a bag throwing simulator. They're not wrong, it's just mean-spirited. Yes, you're doing heists, so of course you're bagging up drugs or jewels or money, and the idea is you have to take it while surviving wave after wave of cops, and then I think an assault will start in a second here. Things go absolutely crazy when assaults start. You just get bombarded by squads and squads of police, and really you have to just hunker down and hope that your ammo and health last you till it's over. Yep, there we go, the heist is in progress now. And generally the higher difficulty the heist you've accepted, the higher difficulty form of police will come. The amount of armour they're wearing, or their special, like the special infected in Left 4 Dead, I guess you could say. There's special police, so there's ones holding shields, there's ones who use tasers on you, there's ones who cloak, and there's ones who are basically just like walking tanks. They're just unbelievably strong. And I always call them juggernauts, but they're not called juggernauts, they're called bulldozers. So the general difficulty of the game, I would say, if you're familiar with Payday 1, is a lot harder. I mean, you pretty much, prior to a patch that's happened since I recorded this footage that I'm talking over, it was basically impossible to play 1 player or 2 player, even with the up to 2 AI help you get. You needed 4 people or 3 people, and even then, on normal / hard, it was borderline impossible sometimes. You could just get utterly swamped. Not enough bullets to kill the police getting thrown at you. There has been a balancing patch since this was recorded that has mitigated the difficulty when you're playing with less than a full party of real people. So I think in a second you will see that the game pauses while CR comes in, and that's a good way to show off it has drop in, drop out, although you can set it whether it's friends only or just open to the public, everyone else is playing. And it is also another good point to mention that the reason Blighty and I are playing in the beta is because CR was very kind to gift us the full game for when it's released, so I would just like to say thank you. And if you want to check out his YouTube channel, it is youtube.com/cynicalrazor. If you don't know how to spell that, it was on the screen just there a second ago. And I have a problem holding F everywhere. Like, I couldn't do it for the pager that screwed over us being stealthy, I couldn't do it for the bag there, I couldn't do it for the saw when I was doing the safe at first. So you'll notice that we've got Failsman on the left there. He's covering one of the alleys into the back of the place. Meanwhile, me and Blighty are trying to hold the front, and I noticed just prior to that we'd actually forgotten one bag of loot. The idea on the jewellery heist one anyway, in my opinion, is you have to get the jewels from the front of the store really quickly, because otherwise you just can't get to them because of the sheer number of bullets that the cops are sending in. I think this assault will be ending soon, although they seem to last a hell of a lot longer than they did in the first one. And that's where the difficulty comes from. As far as complaints would go, keeping in mind that this is from a beta and they are constantly updating based on feedback, I'm actually quite impressed they're doing so many updates to the beta considering the game's out within 2 weeks from now. Is that... I totally forgot what I was going to say there after I started talking about the beta coming out. What was I talking about? The difficulty? No, problems with it. See, sometimes I forget because I'm distracted by watching myself play and thinking, oh, why did I do that? Ah, dear oh dear. And I forgot again because I was forgetting about talking about something else. No, I didn't really, don't worry about it. So problems, I would say that sometimes the police spawning, like they do literally just appear out of thin air, that is very annoying. Especially in some, like say the bank heist mission, you've done everything well and you're about to get to the escape van. A whole squad of cops can just spawn around the van, and that is fairly annoying. I'm hoping that will get fixed. Also, the other big complaint, unfortunately it was the same in Payday 1, the civilian AI is atrocious. They will stand up in the middle of a gunfight and often just walk into your line of fire, and you get penalised when you kill a civilian, whether it was your fault or not. The game errs on the side of caution that if you kill a civilian, chances are you did it on purpose, so it's going to punish you for that. But really, that's never happens. It's, in my experience anyway, I don't go around aiming for the civilians, so it's always they walk into your line of fire, or the police stand in front of them, you don't see them and their bullets travel through the police into them. It's annoying. The penalty is the same, you get docked a certain amount of your final money, 5,000 per civilian in this game. And also if you go down 3 times and are arrested, there's an additional timer before Bane, the person who's given you these heists, is able to trade a civilian you've captured for your life, and then you get to drop back into the game. So that was us taking the big heist from the safe there, and now we're trying to do a kind of relay with the bags to get them into the escape van. On normal you only need to capture 3 bags and then that's you done, but if you get all... how many is it? Is it 8 bags in total? Either way, if you get every single bag in total, you'll get above and beyond the pay grade that you were offered at the start. And if you're playing on a harder difficulty, I think Overkill is the hardest difficulty, you are required to get all the bags along with everything else that's harder about that mode. Either way, this is us finishing the heist and you'll get to see our final pay, and we're all just trying to jump in, and there we go, that was jewellery store success. A very easy mission, but believe me, I wanted to play an easy one because I knew it would be fairly short and it wouldn't have many problems besides me screwing up the stealth aspect at the start there. So when a mission is over, you get a large amount that goes into your offshore account, and then you get some spending money. You use spending money on everything, new masks, guns, mods, skills. And the reason you don't get all the money is purely for balance, I would say. It's because they don't want it to make it seem like you're earning a small amount of money, but at the same time they can't give you a large amount of money because you'll unlock the entire game. You also get to choose a card when you finish a heist, which can give you random stuff. So I got a zombie mask, which is amazing. Failsman got colours, Blighty got cash. CR got something for the stock rifle. So that was it. That concludes this very quick Let's Look At for Payday 2. It's out soon. We are thoroughly enjoying it, and if you would like to see some more food once the game is out, please let me know.